So the next thing is something that I use as really as a productivity tool. I do a lot of communication on Facebook Messenger, and most people, and I'm usually on my computer. Obviously on your phone you have an app for that, and it's separate. What most people don't realize is that it is actually separate uh, on the computer as well. And what was driving me nuts a lot of times was having, if you're in several different conversations, you have all of these little boxes at the bottom, and you're trying to see, and maybe somebody's written you 3 paragraphs, and you got to scroll back in this tiny little window, and they sent a picture, and here's a file that they sent over, and it can get overwhelming because there's a lot going on. Obviously, on a Facebook page, there is, your newsfeed is scrolling, and then there's these ads on the side, and it's a little bit of overwhelm. And so, for productivity's sake, when you're trying to use it as a tool for business, it can be a little distracting. And so I was really excited to find out that you can open Messenger in a completely separate tab. I never even use the little chat boxes anymore. And so if you go to messenger.com, it'll ask you to log in with your Facebook account or whatever Facebook account you want to log in with. And it's one whole page. And so the whole middle spot there is all your conversation. It feels like, you moved out of a little tiny apartment to, to a big mansion. It's just like the space is luxurious. And so you see your whole list of your most recent contacts and conversations on the left-hand side, and you can pull them up, and it gives you a little preview of the conversation that's been going on. And then that whole conversation area. And then what's cool as well is on the right-hand side, you have a spot where you can easily just click to call the person or start a video chat with them. You can search in the conversation, which comes up really helpful. Especially Kevin and I communicate this way a lot, and he'll say, oh, what was the address of that house we looked at, or what was the name of that file or whatever that you sent me. And you can search specifically for some of the words that you remember, and it'll go back in that conversation and highlight those things to pull it up. And the other thing is that all the shared files you'll see right now, it just is the shared files, but it also is any of the shared pictures are there as well. Like if I minimize that screen to show all the pictures that we shared between us. So if there's a specific picture that I know that he sent me a picture of the front of that website that I wanted to include in my presentation, let's say, I can just go to the pictures and scroll through them really quickly. There it is. And so it's really, really helpful to do that. And what I have found, the next thing I'm going to share is how you then, if you decide to use this, how do you then turn off the little chat boxes? So this is a little bit, it seems a little bit involved, but because I wanted to go through this step by step, but it's actually pretty simple when you go to it. On the right-hand side of your Facebook page, there's a little cog or a little wheel down on the bottom where it shows chat and whatnot, and all of the people that are along the right-hand side. And what you want to choose is to turn off active status. And then at that point, it'll minimize and it'll pull up this window, and you can choose whether you want to turn it off for everybody. Do you want to turn it off for just some people, include some people? I have it off for everybody myself, but that's really your choice. And you can play around with it because it's really simple to go back and then change it. You're not going to break anything, and it's easy to find. That cog, it's always there, so it's easy to find, to go back and change it. Well, I think I like it this way or that way, and experiment with it and see what's going to work best for you. And so once you've done that, I go back to because as you can see behind my picture there, it grays everybody out when you're not, and when it's not active. And so I choose, like I said, I want to get rid of the distractions, right? To completely hide that sidebar, so that it gets rid of that, so that there's not so much noise when you're looking at a Facebook page. And this is what it shows. It just shows that the chat is off, and then the whole right-hand side is just completely clean. That whole sidebar is clean. You don't have all kinds of things popping in there when you're looking at your Facebook page, and you can certainly focus. And then at this point, then when it says chat off, then those little boxes won't pop up. The only time they will ever pop up is if you are on let's say you're on someone's page and you click message from their page, it will pop up then. That's the only time. But once you close it, it never comes back. So you can, when I want to have a conversation with somebody, I just go to messenger.com and that's where I do it. So here's another little fun thing that some of you may know, but I've been surprised at how many people didn't know. So I chose to include it here because it's really useful. My sister still insists on sending me, if she wants to send me something from a website, she copies and pastes like the whole page of a website, and I get that in an email, which is kind of funny. And I always laugh, and she goes, oh, I say, I told you how to do this. She goes, I know, I don't even think about it. So it's kind of funny. But I mean, obviously when in business, we want to be able to send nice, clean looking emails, but we also want to save as much time as possible too. And this is a really great, so if you're on a website and you say, oh, I want to email this link, I want to email this to Kevin this is in Chrome, and I'll go through 3 of the browsers, but this is in Chrome. You hit File, Share, and then email the link. And you can see there is a shortcut there as well, but it's just as easy to say File, Share, Email, Link. And in Firefox, the command is File and then just Email Link. There's not a separate a dialog box that comes up. It's just File, Email, Link, and click that. And then in Safari, it's similar to Chrome. It looks pretty much the same as Chrome. File, Share, Email, Link to this page. And there's another way on Safari, on the right-hand side of, so people who are familiar with Macs now, that you see the little share on the right-hand side of a browser, this is an optional way, is just to click the share icon and then email the page. So that's an optional way. And then when you've done that on any one of those browsers, you'll see it'll pop up a new tab, and it'll say on the left-hand side, so for instance, for me, I use Gmail, so it'll pop up that it's loading Gmail. The first time you do this, it'll ask you to choose what email provider, which one do you want to associate with this? Are you using Outlook? Are you using, Mac Mail? Are you using Gmail? And so once you choose that, it'll remember it going forward. And but what happens is as you can see, like I sent my website address, this is what shows up. It's your default from, it puts something in the subject line, whatever the title of the website is, it puts in the subject line, and it automatically pops the link into the email. So all you need to do then is address the email and send it off, or obviously if you want to write more, you can certainly do that, but it's already composed for you, and this is such a huge time saver. So this is the last one I'll share, and it is something that has, when I figured this out, it was like, oh, hallelujah. I don't know about you, but there's times that you don't remember your password that you had for something that now your computer remembers. It's there. Those little asterisks are there, right? And maybe I need to share my password with Kevin, or I'm going to a different device or computer, or I need to use something else. I need to know what my password is. Like I said, it's there. My computer remembers it, but I don't. So there's a way to reveal that. And all you need to do is to right click in the password box, and depending upon what browser you're on, one says just inspect, and another one says inspect element. So you're looking for either of those terms. And what that does is it brings up the developer console. And so it'll push your window aside to the left, and it'll pop up this developer console that has all this HTML in it. And that's what you'll see there. On Chrome, this is the screenshot is from Chrome. It actually highlights, you can see it's in gray there. It highlights the piece that I'm looking for even. And what you want to look for is the part that says input type equals. And what you're going to change, because right now input type equals password, and so that's why it's hidden. All you need to do is click on the word password and change it to text. TEXT without the you just type text, and then you can hit enter. And that's going to reveal your password. So change the word password to text, hit enter, and this is a little bit closer up image of it, of where I put that in. So, and you leave the quotations there that are there. You just are changing the text from password to text. And then it all of a sudden, when you do that, it instantly changes your password field to text so you can read it. You can still log in too, even though it's revealed, but that is a way to know. It's like has saved a lot of headaches. So.